Horticultural Hall, Westminster, snooker was the sport, and the contestants for the world title were introduced by that famous exponent of the game, Joyce Gardner.
Contestants, Joe Davis, snooker champion of the world and 19 years holder of the title. His opponent, Horace Lindrum, a snooker champion of Australia and 15 years holder of that title.
Davis won the toss, then Lindrum and our newsreel cameras got to work. Joe Davis in action. The match for the world title was to be the longest encounter of its kind ever played. It would last a fortnight and consist of the best of 145 frames. There was a capacity house of 1,300 at the opening. Horace Lindrum again. The more you play snooker yourself, the more you'll appreciate these artists.
Yeah, 36.
Now the title holder, and presently he leaves Lindrum with one of those little problems which you or I would find it rather difficult to work out. Here it is, on the pink, snookered behind the black.
56-41.
They'd already had a long session when they played their special game for the newsreels, and here's something extra special as a finale.
Joe Davis instigated the World Championship, bought the trophy out of the winner's purse and proceeded to win it for 20 successive years. His authority was almost unchallenged, and among the opponents who fell to him, his own brother, Fred.
The great snooker battle in London was a pretty hot affair between Fred, here seen in action, and his elder brother. Fred certainly made Joe look to his laurels, but the world champion is still unbeatable, and he won the deciding game with a break of 101, incidentally his 112th snooker century. Looks easy enough, doesn't it? Well, that's how Joe Davis carried off the event, which he has won every season since it began in 1927.
It was the only time the Davis brothers met in the final. Joe beat Fred by 37 frames to 36, a marathon match, as they all were in those days.
But the honours of the match were fairly evenly shared, even if the cup was presented by Lord Alif to Joe. He himself does not underestimate his young brother's skill.
But I'm in rather a difficult position regarding my brother. As you know, I did teach him in the early days. I treat him as a protege of mine. But I don't know whether I like it or not now. When he's playing very well against all these other players, of course, I love it, and I tell everybody how I taught him and all the rest of it. But when I'm opposed to him, I sometimes wonder whether I did the right thing. And for another year, at any rate, I'm pretty safe. And it may be for the duration of the war, because Fred next month is due to register for the army. So that might keep him quiet for a while.
I should like to go on playing all day for you, but you will appreciate that space will only permit me playing 4 or 5 shots. Thank you. The massage stroke is a very useful shot to pot a ball when the balls are under cover. Pot the red. With the balls in line, a useful stroke to make a cannon twice around the table. The nursery cannon game, showing you how to take the balls around the corner of the pocket.
Walter Lindrum reached supreme perfection, mainly with his nursery cannons making a break of 4,137. The English Billiards Association altered the rules, limiting nursery cannons to 15. Lindrum promptly set up a new world record. It was another story of Dave of the Queue. The one and only Walter Lindrum was a knockout. And what a warrior he was during those war years. He fired cannons by the thousand, nursery cannons, and thousands paid to see him do it. The gate takings going to the Comforts Fund. Lindrum travelled the length and breadth of Australia, demonstrating his uncanny and unmatched mastery of billiards. In Melbourne on July 31st, 1940, Lindrum competed in a match against his brother Fred, lasting 2 hours and 28 minutes, with only one spell. Despite the new rule limiting consecutive cannons or hazards to 15, he set a world record break of 3,361. And when it came to trick shots, it was in the bag.